And I think as long as we're really clear about what our agenda is, there's a global movement waiting to happen and ready to get behind this totally uncontroversial idea. When I grew up in a Catholic home. I still consider myself a practicing Catholic. My mom's great uncle was a Jesuit priest. My great aunt was a Dominican nun. She was a school teacher and a principal her entire life. In fact, she's the one that taught me as a young girl how to read. I was very close to her. And I went to Catholic schools for my entire childhood until I left home to go to university. And in my high school, Ursuline Academy, the nuns made service and social justice a high priority in the school. And today in the Foundation's work, I believe I'm applying the lessons that I learned in high school. So in the tradition of Catholic scholars, the nuns also taught us to question received teachings. And one of the teachings that we girls and my peers questioned was, is birth control really a sin? Because I think one of the reasons that we have this huge discomfort talking about contraception is this lingering concern that if we separate sex from reproduction, we're going to promote promiscuity. And I think it's a reasonable question to be asked about contraception. What is its impact on sexual morality? But like most women, my decision about birth control had nothing to do with promiscuity. I had a plan for my future. I wanted to go to college. I studied really hard in college, and I was proud to be one of the very few female computer science graduates at my university. I wanted to have a career, so I went on to business school, and I became one of the youngest female executives at Microsoft. I still remember, though, when I left my parents' home to move across the country to start this new job at Microsoft. They had sacrificed a lot to give me 5 years of higher education. But they said, as I left home, and I literally went down the front steps, down the porch at home, and they said, even though you've had this great education, if you decide to get married and have kids right away, that's okay by us too. They wanted me to do the thing that would make me the very happiest, and I was free to decide what that would be. It was an amazing feeling. But in fact, I did want to have kids, but I wanted to have them when I was ready. And so now, Bill and I have 3. And when our eldest daughter was born, we weren't, I would say, exactly sure how to be great parents. Maybe some of you know that feeling. And so we waited a little while before we had our second child. And, you know, it's no accident that we have 3 children that are spaced 3 years apart. And now as a mother, what do I want the very most for my children? I want them to feel the way I did, like they can do anything they want to do in life. And so what has struck me as I've traveled the last decade for the Foundation around the world is that all women want that same thing. Last year,